Here.
Yeah. You're here, we're good, you guys are good? I feel like everybody's so far back there. How are we? All right, well, do me a solid and go say hi to 2 new people that you don't know already. So like, let's get up and move around a little bit. Yeah, that's
I
right.
want to chat with Andrea.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Yes, I know. You got a short.
It's a testament to the teacher, that's all it is.
Oh, okay, good. I was like,
That's all you.
I figured it was a testament
It's
to
the
my
fear.
teaching that nobody is sitting in the front row right now. Like, I don't understand, but, all right, so let's start with the MVVVP. Can I have somebody read this out for me? Anybody? To be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers, right? So that's our vision, right? We go through this every week, and so that you can be a true ambassador. You want to be the real estate company of choice. You want to be the real estate agent of choice. So, all right. Do we have Onward? Katya, are you able to jump in and talk, or is Haley there? Because I don't see him down here. Okay, Onward Agent Services. It's like the skeleton crew today, so just like, help me out here, like laugh at my dumb jokes, like clap for me every now and then. All right, so Onward Agent Services. Raise a hands of anybody who's utilized Onward Agent Services. Pretty helpful, right? Leverage off the things that you can leverage off so that you can be in more relationships with more people, right? Let them help you with your transaction coordination, marketing management, sign running, closing baskets by Tish. Where's she at? There she is. If you've not had one of Tish's baskets yet, you are truly missing out because they are beautiful. To the point where if you see her and you need one, give her more time than a 24-hour notice right before somebody's graduation. She doesn't quite like that so much. Anywho, so also Katya's got some amazing summer promos. Katya, can you hear us? Because I know you're leading the meeting as Nicole today. Do you have anything to add to this?
Hi, no, just they're really good deals. So email me at marketing@onwardagentservices.com if you're interested, even to just talk about it, and we can schedule a meeting.
Thank you so much. So she's got the newsletters for referrals, things like that. Definitely take advantage of that. It's going to be helpful later on when we talk more. All right, my vendors in the room. Who do we got? Could we go ahead? Let's start with you.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Bryant Young. I'm with Insurance of the Ozarks, insurance agents, primarily focused on personal lines. And we actually helped hold a house open yesterday with Denise. And they had some horses. So I wondered if you guys knew what does a horse say after it's tripped? Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. What other vendors do we have in the room? Go ahead. You're standing. You can stand in the audience. Let's go.
Andy Hefner with U Mortgage. We've multiplied many times. We have a 0% down conventional loan that didn't come out too long ago. And then similar to MHGC, but we do have an FHA full down payment assistance grant that is not being utilized by a lot of agents. And it is truly a grant, not a 10-year loan. So if you guys want some answers on that or anything, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you. Carl.
All right, Carl Perdomo, Darkstone Home Inspection. Here to add value to help you all out with your clients. Put their mind at ease. Let them know what the defects are, if they're a big deal, not a big deal, what some of the fixes could be for them. Kind of helps smooth the transaction, makes your job a little bit easier if you have that list. So you can look at it and say, okay, well, Carl Penn knows what he's talking about a little bit here and there. But thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Any other vendors online that I'm not seeing? Let's just check here. Nope, that looks like it's it. Just moving right along. Oh, and then I guess we don't, do we? There it is. All right, Carl, what you got?
So last week I got the Lindy Awards. This week, we're gonna give it to Brian. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Oh,
Always back home.
He's always upbeat, happy, makes us laugh every Tuesday morning for a minute.
Laugh is generous. Thank you. Cringe more like, but
appreciate
that's fine.
that. Do we have an acceptance speech or are we good to move?
Yeah, glad you asked.
Awesome, thank you so much, thank you so much. All right, let's go to our Steph's Award. Last week, Drew Frost nominated this week's winner. It's Landon. It's Landon, all right. Landon's not here. He's out on vacation, which was well earned, let me tell you that. What Drew had to say is that he's really gone above and beyond. And if you've been around Landon, you know he will go above and beyond for you, down to the point of chasing down missing checks at different market centers. So he's a pretty fantastic guy. Why don't we go ahead and bother him on vacation and just blow it up? His phone number is 417-259-0542. 259-0542. Tell him win big, because we know what he does on vacation. And that, you know, hey, thank you for being you. All right, broker. Yeah, there he is. All right, Jim.
July 29th is the rollout date for the new contracts. Everything is coming down from the state. So I'd encourage you to, we've sent these out a couple times and we've got them on, what do you call it, the internal pages or whatever. But next week, we're gonna have a quick section just on the cooperating fee agreements, the two. And there's actually two, which is really kind of strange, but you'll understand it better next week after I show them to you. I wanted to do it this week, but I thought it was too early. You know, it'd be a whole month. You guys wouldn't know what the hell's going on. We'll do it next
The last
week.
minute.
And then July 23rd, we're actually gonna have just training
Mhm.
here, rather than a team meeting. It'll be a training deal on the new contracts. So hopefully you'll attend. It only takes 3 hours. So.
Only 3 hours. Well worth it though.
And then I'm scheduled to teach on Thursday. I don't know about the schedule, but if I do, it'll be a short class because I have an appointment that I have to go to that afternoon. So it'll be an hour and a half. Don can get to it in 45 minutes. So I can do it in an hour and a half. We'll jump through it real quick, but it's at 1 o'clock on Thursday.
Fantastic. Okay. Good to know.
Mike's video yesterday said the
The
12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got some slides about that as well. There's going to be ample training.
Okay.
So,
Oh, good.
yes,
Gonna be what?
ample training. So there'll be multiple trainings. How about that?
Yeah,
We are the number one
yeah,
training
yeah.
company.
You know, I mean, the change is pretty seismic if you think about it, you know. The cooperating fee is gonna go just completely away from the MLS. You won't see it at all. So you're going to have to reach out to the other agent to determine whether they are cooperating or not. And if they're not, then you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get paid if you're gonna work. Mike gave an example one day up here at Script Lane. I didn't like it very much. I can imagine what my client would say if I said, well, I want to show you this $350,000 house, but they don't offer commissions. So I'm assuming you're willing to pay that. It'll only be $11,500 and see what they say. But there, I mean, there are changes coming. I would hope that the majority of us continue to encourage our seller clients that this is how, it's been this way for 100 years. It's not new. That the seller has paid the commission as a part of the fee. And that's how we establish market value. So suddenly if the $350,000 house, they're not gonna pay it, then now the house probably should be $335,000.
I hear you.
I mean, it's true, because remember commissions built, if it's been built in for 100 years and we need to take it away if they're not gonna pay half of it.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings around this whole subject. I think that we're not really gonna know how it all shakes out until it starts happening, right? And we start building new norms. And, you know, to Jim's point, yeah, you can't just pop it up on a buyer and say, hey, are you willing to pay me 11,000? Let's go. It doesn't really work like that. So that's where we really have to take our time, do the buyer consultation strategy session, make sure that your value is present before you're out trying to show. right? I mean, I could go on and on, but I'm not gonna do that today.
Well.
But lots of training to come.
The key, one of the keys, they're going to have to sign an agency contract, a buyer agency contract before you show a property. You can't show one. I mean, that whole thing's changed. The rest of us do. We just run around here, look at some houses. Now we'll make a decision whether you want to enter an agency contract. That goes away. You can't do it anymore. So you might as well, get used to consulting and reserving the rooms or using your office or McDonald's or whatever you want to use. But you're going to have something signed.
So
And
we're in an open house. We're
that's
showing
different.
a
It's
property.
different. It's a, what do they call it? A ministerial act or something like that. So it's okay on an open house.
For that house.
Just for
However,
that house,
I would
yeah.
get in the habit of having blank contracts with you at all times so that if you find that, because I know Liliana specifically, you built a business off of meeting people at open houses and then going and showing, right? Because it just makes sense. So all that looks like is it's a change. You're gonna have to have a buyer agreement with you.
Missouri broker disclosure form.
Yep.
Because it says in paragraph 3, if you want representation in the state of Missouri, then you must enter into a contract. It's right there, so highlight it, underline it, put stars by it, and then hand them that, and so they understand why you're asking them to sign a contract. And obviously, you can sign a contract for one house. You don't have to have 15 or the
In
rest of
special
your life.
agreements, you can just put that in there. Hey, this is an agreement for 24 hours or for these 3 houses that we're gonna look or whatever.
There was a question on the chat about a video
I think
walkthrough,
Elise just answered it.
but it might be helpful to have Jim answer it.
Oh, let's see.
It was on the.
Can we
thing
do a video
yesterday.
walkthrough of a home pre-contract? Let's see.
Pre-contract?
I saw this addressed answer yesterday and it was no. Jim is smarter than me, ask him.
Yeah, it was about like, you're not even allowed to give
Okay,
a
so what's the
virtual,
question?
give a
You could do
virtual
video.
tour without a buyer representation.
I don't know, why not?
They said yesterday on the.
I mean, the
open house,
contract
yeah.
allows you to video. The employment agreement contract allows you to video.
But if you
they're
don't have one, if you don't have the employment contract, can you do the video?
Just send it to, I don't know why not. I wouldn't know a reason that they couldn't do that. You're not physically there showing a property to an individual, so I think you could send a video. That would be my opinion. Now, don't call the legal line because we called them 3 or 4 times and they can't answer anything now. I'm just kidding. You can call them.
JK, LOL, moving on.
No, in my opinion, yes, you could do a video of a house and send it to a buyer. Because you're not physically showing them.
I think
I
there's
don't know
going
who
to be
said, who
some,
said no.
On the KWR or the, was it Mark Wells? Yeah.
the open house that was from KWRI
You know
yesterday.
what? Have you ever done something and you found out later it was, oh, you can't do that? And then you ask for forgiveness? That's the way I would approach that. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't know what to do.
It's recorded.
It's okay, it's not recorded. No cameras in the room.
I'm serious. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it because it's allowed under the listing contract for videos to be taken by other agents. It doesn't say anything about it. Only if they've entered into an agency contract with the buyer that they want to show. Now, I don't think you could post it to the world, but I think you could send it to an individual buyer.
I think to all of your points that we're going to see some differences in how we do things. And we're going to probably have our hands smacked a few times on thinking one way or another. And we're just going to get better. It's going to make our industry get better. So we're going to move on from this.
New world, you made mistakes when you first got in the business. This is like getting in the business again, because this is a totally different world than what we've been used to for so long. So, I mean, if we make mistakes, we'll make them as long as we're not making critical errors.
Mhm.
You know, just don't do anything that's fraudulent or illegal. I wouldn't think that's illegal and I wouldn't think it's fraudulent. So I think you'd be fine there and I don't think anybody could say anything to you. And if they did, you say, okay, we didn't know. Now we know.
I think I think that's a fair statement. I think we're gonna see a lot of things like that. So it's gonna be really hard to just sit here and go line by line through every single thing because we haven't done this before. So have no fear, we're gonna take care of you. Moving on. All right, let's talk about continuing ed for just a second. Raise a hand if you've started your continuing ed. Yes, awesome. Okay, And if you haven't, shame bestowed upon you. Just kidding. All right, so we've got lots of options for continuing ed. We've got CE Cheap. There's a code. This is also in the Facebook page. I believe it's pinned to the top. And then you'll see some slides later from the board that there's also additional in-person options for your continuing ed. All right, so let's look and see how the market is. From last week to this week, we saw some jumps. In the SOMO new listings, last week we had 409. This week we had 467. So we're seeing that uptick in the inventory. More houses are becoming available on the market. Now we're about the same. Last year, how many homes went pending? Excuse me, last week was 29 in one day or less. This week was 28. Nothing really that noticeable here, but as you can see, new listings, it's just, there's more. Right? There's more inventory than we've had in a long time. Actually, I think we're back down to the pre-pandemic or back up to the pre-pandemic levels. Did that move? Yeah. All right, yes. So if we're looking at this year over last year, you know, things were moving a little bit faster. Is anybody feeling like a little slow? Like the days on market are taking a little bit longer, or maybe some of those houses you thought were going to go really fast, all of a sudden are just sitting a little bit longer. So be cognizant of that. You have got to know where your market's at, where your price points are at, and articulate that to your sellers. So you're not thinking, hey, we're going to be under contract in 24 hours. I'm not so sure. It may sit a little bit longer, right? And so those are just things to start minding. The days on market goes up. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're switching markets. We are getting more into a balanced market, but we still don't have enough inventory, okay? So when you look at this is what I meant. We're at, last week when we did this, it was at 1708. So 1,708 active listings. We're at 1,768. That's quite the jump, right? So sellers are selling. The interest rates, they are what they are. I believe they're going down a little bit, right? Christina, I see you back there. Did they drop a little bit last week?
They're not as ugly as they have been.
Right? I like that attitude, right? So we're gonna see some movement. This is your time to shine, okay? But yeah, we are back to like some pre-pandemic levels where in 2018 we had, 1743. We're at 1768. So welcome back, friends. Welcome to seasonality as well. All right, so big news here with profit share. In May of this year, we saw 52,000 shared back to our agents, okay? Year to date, we're at over 161,000. Also, this is super cool. We were 35 of over 815 market centers. That's huge. That's huge. Like really big deal. Woo. Okay, come on. Yes. Big deal. Springfield, Missouri does some pretty amazing things within the Keller Williams community, and you all should be pretty proud of yourselves there. All right, so tech time. Y'all know of Scott Leroy, right? You got some really cool emails from Scott Leroy. He is going to jump on here. Katya, do you have him pulled up and ready to go?
Hey. Hey, oh,
Are you on?
hey, I sure am. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Hey, there we go. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on today. So I love the fact that you said you've received some really cool emails from him, because yes, we are known to overwhelm everyone with communication. So thank you. So yeah, so my name's Scott Leroy. I run what I call the lamest name company of all time, Scott Leroy Marketing, and we're really here to kind of help you with all of your key technology. So I'm gonna flip this around real quick and show y'all some fun stuff that you can utilize right away. So this is the scottleroymarketing.com website on here. And the main place to focus on is going to be this agent resources section that you're seeing. So once you sign in with 369, that's going to give you access to everything possible under here. So the first big thing is that questionnaire section. And y'all may recall this from when you first got set up with everything possible as a new agent, but this will help us to go through and really just kind of ensure that you're fully set up as of today. So we have an existing agent questionnaire on here that I would love everyone to fill out today, because it's like a yearly check-in with the doctor. It's just a great way for us to say, as of June 11th, what all am I not taking advantage of that I could be? All right, then we can go through and update that right away. And the best part is it's 6 questions, 2 of which are your first and last name, so we can help with that immediately on here. All right, and then we do have live training classes that are happening every Monday through Friday, right at 12 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to hop on here and learn a little bit more about all the KDB technology, please feel free. These are all interactive and workshop style. So come with your laptop or your tablet and get ready to really dive deep into everything and start to utilize it even more. And if you want to, you can see what training classes are happening today, tomorrow, this week, next week, this month, all under our training calendar section. All right, we have our challenges on here. So if you're more of someone that wants to see what you need to do in the next 30 days to become really proficient, this will help out tremendously. All right, and then we even happen to have all of our cheat sheets on here. So if you want to see everything written out step by step, this will help out as well too. All right, now if you can't make it to those live training classes, since they are every day at 12 o'clock Central, all right, we do have them recorded on here as well. So if you want to come back and rewatch any of them 24/7, you're definitely more than welcome to. So they're all available alphabetically organized, but chronologically organized, so you can see the most recent class first. All right, so on here, if you find any class that you want to come back and re-access, like today we're having a class on the websites and how to customize them even further. Well, once you click on this later on today, it's then going to show, customize your website -6/11 as the first class that'll pop up on here. So that way you'll see, hey, that was the class from June 11th to rewatch right away. All right, so all these classes will be available on here in chronological order, so you can see the most recent one first. And if you don't want to spend an hour with us, that is completely understandable. We do have quick little tech tips that are between 1 to 5 minutes on here. All right, so if you want to learn just a little bit more of all the different KDB tech in just small snippets, this will help out on here under that tech tip section. Now, my favorite place to highlight for agents is the support section. So scottleroymarketing.com/support. These are all free items that we can do for y'all. So at the bottom of every page is our contact information. So if you have any issues, questions, concerns on any of the KDB technology, this is all accessible for you to utilize right away. All right, so please feel free to contact us. So if you ever have any, maybe you're saying like, this isn't working on DocuSign, my website's not adjusting properly, I'm having an issue with my database, just contact us and think of us as an extra tech staff member to help you out. All right, and then we also have all these free services. So if you need help importing a database, if you want us to create a custom bio, if you want us to reach out to your contacts to get updated contact information, we can do all of that. We have services just around Command specifically, services around all of your KDB technology, whether it's My KDB Command or Connect, services around your email, around your website. So if you're taking advantage of that new website, this will help out tremendously. And then even services around third-party support items. All right, so if you want to take advantage of a digital business card, a Calendly account, Zoom account, Canva, we can help with that right away. All right, and all these red buttons are clickable options just to fill out a short form on here. So that way you can see everything that's accessible to take advantage of immediately. So that way we can help you out with all these items to make your life a little bit easier on here. All right, and the final thing I want to highlight for y'all is all of our different templates that are available too. So under the agent resources section, we're going to have some template options on here that are free for y'all to use all through Canvas. That's why I was highlighting that earlier. So if you want to access any of these templates in excess of what's available on designs, they'll all be here on the right-hand side under agent templates. And once you click on it, that's going to give you all the variations you can use right away. And it'll allow you to see all the different options that we'll have under here to use. All right, so once again, everything I just highlighted is completely free from the graciousness of your office under that agent resources section. So please feel free to contact us at any time. Let us know how we can help out and think of us as an extra tech staff member to make your life that much easier.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, cool. That's amazing. I didn't quite realize how many really great resources we have. I mean, they'll help you import your files. They'll help you reach out to your people and get contact information. That's amazing. I would highly recommend checking this out. Remember the trainings that if you couldn't hear because the volume was kind of low on here, but 12 Central Standard Time, and then scottleroymarketing.com. And then as you know, their support, Scott, it was support@scottleroymarketing.com, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your time. I super appreciate that.
Of course, thank you. I look forward to working with you all very soon. Have a good day today.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, let's see if I can't get back to my screen share. No? Okay. That's super fun for me. Katya, are you able to put my screen back up? I need the Jeopardy music playing. Do, 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 do. Nope. So if you didn't know, we don't have Nicole in office today. So you're stuck with me and Katya. Let's see, is this gonna work if I do it this way? All right, hang on, friends. Just let me jump back in here real quick and see if I can't get it to come
Is this
up.
a good time to start clapping for you?
Yeah, just start clapping for me. It makes me feel really good about myself.
Hey, Shan. Shanna, can you hear me? You'll have to share your screen on your computer.
It's not working. All right, just hang out, friends. I can't get the Zoom to do what the Zoom needs to do.
Could just shut down and start over.
Start over. I'm gonna let Jim take over. Well, come on. So typically when you're on a Zoom, there's this cute little box at the bottom that's completely disappeared.
If you get rid of that white box at the top, it'll make a difference.
Eventually. All right, friends, I'm figuring it out, I promise.
There you go.
Look at me. Yay, I figured it out. Okay, so I had mentioned, thank you. Oh, she came running down. She's like, she's drowning down there. They're not clapping, they're not laughing. Okay, so as we mentioned before, there's loads of extra continuing education coming your way through the board or through CE Cheap or whoever you decide to use. Also with all of this stuff that comes from the board, you get it every Sunday. I highly encourage you to check it out. I get a lot of people who ask me like, oh, how do you use Flex? How do you use the maps? And I'm like, not our product. I know how to use it because I've been here long enough, but the board can train you on that. I'm also happy to help you with that as well. But there's always something going on. So definitely read those emails. Anybody in here from YPN? Okay, you guys, you have a happy hour coming up on Thursday, correct?
We do. That's what that says.
That's what this says, right? Thursday, June 13th at 4 by 4 on Hills, 4 to 5. So the YPN network with the board is going to be hosting a happy hour. You guys do the best happy hours, by the way. They're always really fun. All right, and then I was hoping Elise was gonna be
She's
here.
on.
Elise, are you on? Yup, okay, okay, so really cool as well. This is gonna be a free to attend from the board, fair housing for LGBTQ. Plus, Elise is one of the panelists, which also, we've got another slide coming up and I hope that she takes herself off mute and tells us a little bit about it. Otherwise, Bethany is gonna have to tell us a little bit about it and she doesn't want to, I can already see that. All right, this is big, leadership. Deadline for your leadership submissions for the board, if you wanna be, is June 30th. Write it down. If you have any interest in being on the leadership of GSBOR, write that down. All right, so today, here we are. If you're wondering where some of our people are, they're at the Leverage Series, learning how to do career visioning and all that good stuff. So again, you're stuck with me, the one non-adult in the building. Today we have Earn with Pride with Elise Riley. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute. And then you guys are stuck with me, not just for team meeting, but you're gonna get a little bit of coaching from me today too. So we'll get very quick there. Elise, can you pop on and tell us a little bit about what to expect today at 11 with Earn with Pride?
Yeah, I might have some background noise because I'm up at a cafe, so sorry about that. But Earn with Pride is today. I'm excited to teach this class. This is a class that it used to be called Proud to be KW. And then they kind of wanted to expand it because a lot of us were being asked to teach it in different brokerages. I taught it last year at the board. So it's kind of it's like a revamp of the same class with a couple of different extra things that focus primarily on fair housing. One of the biggest things that I want to make sure that people understand is that this class was created by KWRI. It's not something that just somebody created to just talk about Pride Month. It really doesn't have anything to do with that. It mentions it and the history of why it exists. Otherwise, the point of this class is to help educate and give people a better understanding of how they can help their clients that are in this community to the best standard possible, while also being educated and understanding of some of the differences within this, this community. So I'm here to help, and I hope that I get to see a lot of people today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys come at 11 today. It'll be really interesting. A really interesting class, and Elise is way more entertaining than I am. So that's awesome. All right, summer opener. Anybody ever been to our Pineapple Whip? It's so fun. 1 to 3 on June 20th. It's going to be great. So we want to say thank you to our sponsors with Livingston Lawn and Tree for providing our Pineapple Whip. This is such a fun thing. I've been every year that we do it. It's my favorite thing. And then I get to wear my favorite Aloha shirt. So that makes me super happy. I think it has flamingos on it. I don't remember because it comes out once a year. Definitely want to be there. This is huge. 6 personal perspectives. This is one of our fundamental trainings here at Keller Williams. It addresses your mindset. It addresses your 80-20 and how do you time block that? And how are you committed to self-mastery? This is a amazing class by an amazing instructor. Wes Litton is the one that's going to teach it. He is one of the few members here that is a KWU certified trainer. So you definitely want to be here for this. It's going to be really, really good. And Elise agrees with me. So if she says yes, I say yes too. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't touch anything. The 6 personal perspectives will be here June 26th from noon to 5. Thank you. Yep, you bet, you bet. Not quite sure what's going on. Everything's off the rails today, but we're just gonna keep on going. All right, so Jim mentioned this before, July 29th, the day everything changes. Nothing to be too concerned with here. Again, I think this is just gonna go on and off, so pay attention here, not behind me. All right, so yep, it's done. July 29th, the commissions will be removed and contract revisions from MAR, they go live. So July 12th is the meeting that Mike had mentioned in his video. From 9 to noon, we're going to have a location. It's probably going to be off-site, but just stay tuned. Again, July 12th, we're going to have mastermind panels to prepare for the 6/29 date, new ways to communicate with sellers, new ways to communicate with buyers, and wealth building and or other segments. All agents from all brokerages are welcome. So this is a great opportunity to bring in somebody that's maybe not a KW. Maybe they don't see what's going on around here. Also, great way to build your downline, right? And participate in some of that profit share. Yes.
Would vendors be able to go to that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I would love that. Oh, look, it's back. Yay. Okay. Finally, something that is my content that I've written. All right, so I've got some little handouts today. If you could just take these and pass them down. Take that, pass it down, pass it down. All right, so if you're in my coaching program, you already know my style, you know my MO. I'm gonna try and get to your feelers as quick as I can, maybe make you cry. That's how I sleep at night. I'm just kidding. First question, how was Q1 in your business? And this is for vendors too, right? So if vendors don't get up and leave, this will be a good exercise for you. How was your Q1? Popcorn it out. Was it fantastic? Was it just all right? Was it terrible?
It's better than last year.
Better than last year. I would have to say, probably because you went to Bold, right?
Of course.
You went to Bold, you did all the activities, and then it helped your first quarter really stand out. But is everybody else really feeling that way? I'll be honest, my Q1 was meh. It was just okay.
Mine was yucky.
Yours was yuck. So it's okay. It's okay. A lot of, yeah. You did all that. You gave it all back to me. All right. So I want to take a second to reflect. I want to reflect on your quarter one, personal life, business life, all of that. And I want to reflect with a few questions. So number one, let's get a little deep. So in order to know where we're going, we have to know where we come from, right? So where's your focus been? If you want to take note or keep it up here, whatever you want, that would be box number one. Go ahead and write down where your focus has been. Now, for you guys who have been in my coaching class, you've just recently gone through something like this, so should be fresh in your memory. Go ahead and play along with me. But where's your focus been? Has your focus been somewhere else other than real estate? And friends, that's okay too. I will be the first to say that my April and May were all about my family and my kids. I took my eye off of real estate and the different things that go along with that because we had big things in our life going on, right? And so sometimes that's okay, but you gotta know where your mind's been. All right, so where's your focus been? Next reflection question. Listen to the words carefully because it's not what you think it is. What are you currently doing that if you were to stop doing, you would be more successful? What is going on right now that if you were to just stop doing it, you then would have a more successful business? Some of you may be thinking procrastination, a dilly-dally. I'm coming up with excuses, whatever that looks like. I want you to think about what if you were to stop doing right now, because that's the thing, if we learn anything from Mel Robbins, we know what we're supposed to do, we know what we're not supposed to do. Right? So this is your chance to just be real with you. We don't have to share afterwards. I mean, I'm going to ask because that's where we grow and we learn from each other. But what if you were to stop doing that one thing you probably shouldn't be doing? Like doing laundry in the middle of lead gen time, right? All right, now, what are you currently not doing that if you were doing, you'd be more successful? So take that thing that you shouldn't be doing, get rid of it, and take that thing, that one thing that you know you should be doing. Is it talking to more people? Is it hosting open houses? Is it calling that for sale by owner in a TCPA friendly and compliant way? What does it look like? What are you currently not doing? Guarantee the answer is right here, you know. It's probably the thing you're avoiding most. And it's so simple. It's such a simple thing. And friends, let me take this outside of real estate for a second because we coach the whole person here. It doesn't have to be about real estate, right? When we talk about being successful, that doesn't always mean real estate. It could be personal. It could be family. It could be being the best baseball mom out there. You got to run for your money because I'm going to win that. But whatever that looks like, right? Take this internal for a second. Let this help you change the way you think of things and do things a little bit different. All right, this one is the ouch one. What does it look like for you and your family if you were to start doing that one thing that you know you're going to be more successful if you do it? I want you to visualize that for a second. Does it give you more time with your family? Does it give you less time with your family? Does that mean that you have to be more intentional when you do show up? And when your kid wants to watch Fortnite, you got to sit there and watch the Fortnite with them? But what is it going to look like for you and your family? Is it going to change your finances? Do you get to go to that Disney vacation? Let's just sit there for a second and I want you to really think about this. Don't just surface level me right now. I want to scuba dive, go deep. All right, last one. What do you need to change for you to start doing the thing? The one thing that you've been avoiding, the one thing you know that if you do, you'll be more successful. That one thing that if you did, the family would look like this. The house would look like this. The vacation would look like this. What do you need to change in your daily routine or your attitude or in your actions to open the door for this change? I see some people, I see some light bulbs going off here. That makes me super excited. There's gonna be some good ahas after this. The funniest thing is I don't have the answers. for how Haley's gonna change, or how Liliana's gonna do it, or how Lee's gonna show up differently. You do though, right? So when you know, and now guess what? You can't unknow it, right? All right, so let's think about this. On the bottom part of your page, there's some boxes, yeah? There's some boxes, okay. A Sprint GPS. What's a GPS? In general, what's a GPS?
Navigation.
Navigation, map, what'd you say, Daniel?
Global position system.
Yeah, he gave me the actual acronym. Okay, fair. But it's, you plug in a destination and it tells you where you're going. It shows you literally step by step, turn left here, make a right here, right? So we take GPS and we put it into our business. But guess what? I do GPSs for my personal life too. When I want to do something, I put it on paper because then I've got it out of my head. And then I share it with somebody who's going to hold me accountable to it, like my coach or my friend or my husband, right? Like all of these things. So the GPS is your internal navigation system. How are you getting to that one thing that you know you're supposed to do so that you can have that ultimate goal with where you want to go with your family? So GPS, we know what that is. It stands for goal, priority, and strategy. One goal, right? One goal. The priority is you identify a priority as an interim goal that is measured and not grounded in a single action. It means that all these different things have to happen for that one priority to happen, which then leads you to the strategies, right? The strategies are those check markable activities that if I do this, I can accomplish this, and then I can get to my one goal. But when you follow it and you put it in a systematic way, like every Monday, I'm going to check and see where I am because I track everything. And I'm going to see where I'm going. That's how we get going. Now, sprint means we're going to take the big, long version and go, whoop. We're going to make it really small. I want you to think of the next 90 days, right? June, July, and August. That's your summer months. What can you do in the next 90 days to change the trajectory of where you're going from where you've been to where you want to go? Because 90 days is plenty of time. Fair? Bold is 8 weeks long. What happened in Bold for Elise's business was huge, and it affected her 30, 60, and 90 days, right? So what you do today shows up in 60 and 90 days from now. So when you come to me and you're like, oh my goodness, I got all this business, I just don't even know what to do with it. Hair flip. I'm going to ask you, what did you do 30, 60, and 90 days ago? And you're probably going to say, oh man, I went to your class and I hit lead gen really hard and I changed the way I think about things. I started going to the gym and drinking water and all these things. Great, do that again over and over and over until you can't do it anymore. Or I've got the people that'll come to me and say, gosh, my pipeline's dry. And I'm like, okay, let's go back. Where were you 60 days ago? I was in the Bahamas. Cool. I'm glad it was really fun. And you earned that time, which is great, but that's probably why we are where we are today, right? Because that's how this business works. So my favorite part here is the who and the when. For a single agent, the who is you. It's going to be me. But for an agent that's part of a team, maybe you can share, delegate some of that responsibility if this is a team style goal. Maybe you've got an admin. Maybe part of this is to find an admin. All right. So here's an example. Goal, 6 pending and closed. I want to have 6 pending and closed in the next 90 days. How am I going to do it? My priority, I'm going to build a robust database, right? Maybe I want to be more specific. I want to build a business that is giving me 20% of my database is 20% of my lead source. You know, get specific. How am I going to do it? Okay, I'm going to add 200 new contacts into Command. Who's responsible? This girl. I'm responsible for it. And when am I going to do it by? August 1st. So now I've set a goal and a deadline, and I've held myself accountable to hitting this. You see where I'm going with this? Make sense? All right, so maybe the next thing is I'm going to put all the contacts I have on a DTD2 plan, the do the database 2 plan, right? So that would be something like, I don't know what week we're in, so you'll have to excuse me, but maybe this is the A&W week, right? And so now they're on a plan, and now I know that I've got to reach out for my quarterly calls to those people, right? Maybe it's identify top 20 connectors and set up a smart plan for them. What's a connector? What's a connector? in business, somebody who connects me to business, right? Literally connection, right? So maybe they're not gonna transact with me, but they maybe connect me with others. Maybe it's a vendor partner. Maybe it's another agent from another area who wants to give me referrals. Maybe it's my sister-in-law because I don't have one. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe it's a sister-in-law who is like my biggest raving fan, but they're not moving anywhere. So they're just gonna help me. Does this make sense? Is this hitting a little bit? Okay. This isn't the time to laugh. This is the time to nod. Yes, yes, yes. All right, and I left the other ones, but what's important here is to come up with what your plan is. Make it something that you can check mark every day, every week. Like, I know what I have to do today to hit this. If it's important enough that when you went through those reflection questions, then that should be a big enough why to do the things you don't want to do. Right? So sometimes we lose track of our why. We lose track of why we're doing the things we're doing and how important that goal really is to us. Right? It's not 6 transactions. It's what those 6 transactions are going to get me later, whether it's financial, whether it fills my bucket because those 6 transactions were taking people into a different stage of their life. Like, you see where I'm going with all this? It's more than the money. It's more than just a transaction. It's more than just a unit. And it serves a bigger purpose because money is only good for the good money can do.
Amen.
Yes. All right. So that is something that you may have started to jot down some notes. I want you to actually think about it. I want you to take those reflection questions and think about what you want your business to look like in the next 90 days. What is September going to do for you? What's Q3 going to look like? And again, for the vendors in the room, like, this goes for you too, because you're running a business, yeah? Okay, so because the only way I know I judge my success is on AHAs. And I'll be able to sleep tonight without, Benadryl or Ambien. Tell me some AHAs. Tell me what you're taking away from today. If you've got something that you want to share about and something that those reflection questions gave you, I'd love to hear it. And I'm a coach, so I'm super patient. I'll stand up here all day.
I got those kind of reaffirming what I just did the 3 days ago. So, a lot of the same stuff,
Okay.
And I've got some new clients that I was just looking at going, these people ain't never gonna happen. But then it's like, well, wait a minute, whose fault's that? That's mine. So, so I started contacting them again. So we'll see what happens.
Good.
I've been pretty blessed this last month and been very, very busy. But with that busy, what that leads to, you're not putting anything back in the pipeline. So I've got to get back to doing lead gen in a big way in order to produce for this fall. Because it's just like planting tomatoes, they're 90 days out.
Mm-hmm. That was worth the price of admission, friends. You got the point. Nobody else has to share now. No, that's 100% true, because as agents, we get so busy in the business we're in, right? And we get busy being busy or babysitting the transaction or whatever. It's a lot, right? Have you ever had more than one under contract at a time? It can be a lot, but we still have to find the time to be successful, because what's going to happen is if he just enjoys this busy time, he's got nothing in the pipeline, nothing later on. It is that roller coaster. And the only way to go for that instead of that is to do that lead gen and develop those good habits every single day. Amber, did you have your hand up too? You want to share?
I did. I'm going through the same thing. So I'm at the top of that roller coaster right now. Things are going great. And I look back and that was kind of an aha, like, yeah, 60 days ago, I was working my DTD dreams for the first time. And so I'm really busy right now. But again, I'm doing the same thing where I'm at that top of that roller coaster and I have shut everything off and I'm focusing on these. So when I hit that bottom, it's going to be like, where's my next one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it's like starting all over again, right? I think that one probably resonates with every single person in this room, right?
That's definitely like mine too, a little bit. And then I know mine was more personal as far as like time wise, like I'm trying to get my time back right now. And so just something as simple as waking waking up earlier, but then I started going deeper. I was like, oh, on the family question, you can go way deep. So, yeah.
Yeah. You can go scuba diving anytime you want. You just pull out these questions, right? A lot of us like to just snorkel on that top level, like, oh, everything's fine. No, get down there because you're tangled up, I promise. Untangle yourself a little bit and figure out why you're doing the things you're doing. I'm no therapist. I stayed at a Holiday Express once. That was awesome, but I'm not a therapist, but I do talk to enough people to understand, like, we all have got baggage. We've got the trauma. We've got the reasons, the justifications, the excuses, all of the things. We just put them all out there. Knock it off. Just stop it. Get to work, right? You know what to do to make your life better, so let's start doing it. If you need more help than that, I'm here to help, whether it's personal or whether it's professional. Yes.
On that same note, the roller coaster thing being at the top of it, the question about like, what are you not doing? And the easy answer is not doing my lead gen, whatever it is, DTD2 or whatever. But for me, it was why? And I think it's time management when I have all of these things going on and just making sure that there is time for that. That's where I fall short, I know for sure. It's just making sure I manage my time correctly whenever I have multiple things going on. So like diving extra layers of the question, I think is important.
Yeah, no, and that's such a, yeah.
Like why, you know?
Yeah, what, but
Not doing
and
lead
why,
gen,
yeah.
but like why?
No, I love that. I love that. The time management thing, I mean, let me ask you guys this. If you're about to go on vacation. You get shit done. Oh, you get shit done.
Oh, yeah.
You get it done, right? But did you have any more time that week than you did the week before? Don't let your time manage you, right? Time management, I mean, that is time blocking, time management, all of it. It's hard. It's not easy, but you know when you need to focus. And when you got kind of like that carrot you're chasing, like the vacation or whatever, you're gonna get it done. So really successful people have the same amount of hours in a day that I do and that you do. But they're managing their time a little bit differently. They're doing the most important things. What are the things that you've got to do to move your business forward today? The rest of it doesn't matter, right? So, and you also played right into this. Thank you very much. You should really go to 6 Personal Perspectives because we're going to dig really deep into time management and all of that good stuff, right? Circle back around, put a pretty bow on it. Thank you. Friends, I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate you laughing and crying with me up here today. And you have regular programming next week. So thank you for your time. I hope you do something really big today.
To come to 11 o'clock.
After 11 o'clock, after you've been with Elise. So thank you, friends. We'll see you later.
So talk to me about this thing.
Yeah.